that we never try to look cool. Literally, we do the opposite.
All right, what's up, everybody? We are here actually live at Door to Door Con. I'm here with the one, the only Carlos Morales. And if you don't know this guy, you've probably been sleeping or something for the past couple years, because they run the #1 YouTube channel for solar people called Real Sales Dynamics. So Carlos, thanks for coming on with us today.
Absolutely, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I ran into you a couple years back. You were interviewing one of my co-managers, Ashton Buswell, back when we were at Legacy Power.
Yeah.
A lot of great guys came out of there. I actually learned a lot by being part of a big box solar company. Obviously, we're running Real Sales Dynamics now, which has been, it's really took the world by storm. And by world, I mean an incredibly small niche of people who are obsessed enough to actually watch content on door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
And I think what has helped separate us out, because we were talking about this earlier, is the fact that we never try to look cool. Literally, we do the opposite.
Okay.
So like a lot of companies, right? There's companies we don't even mention here who've tried to do what we've done, where they brought in guys from like Paramount. I mean, like HBO Max,
really?
like those kind of producers, throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars into production to go, hey, look, guys, we're cool. We do solar, but not really, and we're kind of like a Nike ad. We do the exact opposite. We step into the dorkiness, we step into the hostility, we go to the hood, and we will occasionally fluff up or mess up a pitch, and we'll keep it recorded. Because what we know is the people who are going to be attracted to watching it time after time and again are going to see that like level of transparency in what we're doing. They're actually going to trust us more. Versus if every single door they see, I perfectly deliver a crisp, out of this world pitch. They know that's like 1 out of 200 doors that you get the chance to really do that. To do your full pitch all the way. 90% of the time, it's literally like, hey man, what's going on? Yeah, okay. Any from the media teams? Oh, your face is kind of shrinking up a bit. Oh no, is my pitch going, am I floundering? Okay, wait, thought of an idea. Why don't we go outside? And then they go take him around, and they walk him around and everything else. And I'm like, is he being cool? Is he opening up? Okay, what's going on over here? And I'm like, wait, no, maybe I can move him over here. Oh, we're sitting down. I'm gonna sell you. And then, 45 minutes of the presentation, he goes, is this solar? I was like, yeah, I mentioned solar 15 times, so I ain't doing solar. And then you gotta overcome that, and overcome that, and overcome that. And that fun and that randomness is something that we're able to capture really well. One, because I have my camera guy over here, Garrett, who films all of it, who's willing to knock with me, in 100-degree temperatures in Florida and Arizona and San Diego and Texas, all over the country. And he's been there in the guff of it. He's literally, there's been times where, I'm going out for 3 hours, I'm handling, I have hundreds of reps across the country, handling that. I'm feeling a little tired. He's like, all right, man, time to get up. Let's go at it. Let's hit it again. He goes, I don't have much content. I'm like, fuck, we gotta go. All right, we'll go knock a door. Out of nowhere, we're gonna say secret right there. Literally, Garrett, one time we were out, we were having a rough day in San Diego. And he was like, I need to use the restroom. I was like, cool, let's go to the restroom. We end up in this weird spot. And he goes, I think we should knock over there. We ended up getting like 8 deals out of this little pocket neighborhood because he just literally pointed, and we needed more content.
Holy cow.
Right? So when you have camera guys as talented and as lucky as he is, then you get in a situation where you feel more confident in what you're doing. And I don't even know where we're going with it, but I'm going to continue talking anyway, if that's okay with you.
Well, here, I was just going to say, because I just did a podcast with Michael O'Donnell. And, I mean, most solar people know Michael O'Donnell. He would literally pay people like $100 for the day just to go out for a few hours, not even to record them, but just so he could meet them at a Starbucks or something and hold them accountable. So, I mean, you're doing that like times 10 because you're getting the content, but then it sounds like he's holding you accountable because he's the one saying, hey, Carlos, we need more content.
And I pay more than $100, so that makes sense.
So, maybe that's the secret right there. Just pay someone to
do that, stay accountable, and then find good guys to rock and roll with. You're probably going to do an interview at some point with one of your jiu-jitsu partners, Johnny Graham. Right? When we were coming together with all this, Johnny and me went way back in the Legacy. He was like running the Denver team and kicked my ass first year out. Like it was my freshman year.
I didn't know
and it was my first year ever door knocking, period. And he had done alarms, which I didn't know. And he knew how to manage teams, which I didn't know. But that's all to say, he sold like, I think over 200 accounts his first year.
Wow.
I mean, absolutely knocked out. I sold over 100 accounts, but he was just like big leagues numbers. So we bonded on that. And then we both had a weird, funny sense of humor and both like weird indie music. So I was like, all right, cool, bet you're not like the normal Latter-day Saints type solar rep that I generally meet. So we bonded with that, and it kind of worked out since then.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when did you get into solar, by the way?
I don't know. When did Moses part the Red Sea?
I have to go back to the ancient records.
I think that's about as long as I've been solar.
Yeah.
I don't know, like 8 or 9 years, something like that. Time gets all funky after a while.
Yeah. Once you've been in it.
Yeah, I did a bunch of stuff before it. I was a mortgage broker, social worker, all kinds of different gigs.
Yeah.
I didn't have the normal sales.
Okay. Not the typical
trajectory kind
Utah
of
guy.
Most of the guys, when you're walking around here, they're like, I was at ADP when I was like 16. I got in pest control for a while. I did this other thing.
Yeah.
No, I had like a master's degree, and I was like nearly 30 years old by the time I got into door knocking.
Really?
At all.
I had no idea.
Yeah, but my mortgage manager was MLO. She told me her son was making 3 times more to her selling solar door to door.
Whoa.
I was like, okay, bet. I'm out. I left 2 weeks later. Because I got into mortgages after the 2008 crisis.
Okay.
So Elizabeth Warren's regulations had already come in. We had the Truth in Lending Act and everything else. There's stipulations on being able to make money off of, the interest rate they were charging for a particular candidate.
Yeah.
So a lot of the upside margins were out. Whereas in solar, it felt at least like a blue ocean. That blue ocean really didn't show up though until I'd say about 5 years ago, when the market started opening, where people were more aware of things like red lines and along those lines, and that's when commissions kind of increased.
Yeah.
Like back when I went to work with the company you're at right now, we were making like $300 a kilowatt in San Diego, even though we were selling 18-cent PPAs with a 2.9% escalator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what?
That's how I started too.
Luke and Doug and all those other guys were making, $2,000 a kilowatt off that project on the back end, but they were paying back debt to Sunrun, which they owed when they started Legacy, when they parted ways with Vivint. Right, that's how they kind of got started.
Okay.
Is Sunrun was their kind of lawsuit protection when they left.
Okay.
Right, and so they tied themselves to Sunrun. Sunrun gave them kind of a hard rung of a stick, where they had to pay back a certain amount of debt while also being capped with the installers they can work with.
Yeah.
That led to a lot of people actually leaving the company at the time.
Right.
Then after a while, they were able to break off and become kind of a broker company, which is when they saw their success even go up, escalated from there.
Yeah.
But when they did that, then the walled garden opened up, and suddenly out of nowhere we could see all these different installers. We're like, maybe I don't need to work with you. Maybe I can call Mikey over at Bright Planet.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe I don't need to do this. Maybe I can call that person. You're like, and then you take a look at the margin. You start calling about red lines. You're like, well, red line is a service.
Yeah.
Right. Overrides are a service. Am I gaining a service from this? And it turns out I was a bit cocky. Right. What you don't recognize at the time is when you're starting a dealer, starting your owner, and everything else. It's how much work goes into that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Johnny's over there, he knows.
Yeah.
Like the amount of legal contracts, all kinds of stuff. And then we get in, and then you have companies like Sonova who are just like, let's not pay you $1 million. Like, oh,
yeah.
That hurts.
Ouch.
This other thing shows up. SunPower goes under millions of dollars, like all this kind of stuff. So if you're not smart with your money, you're gonna get screwed and you're gonna eat up. I can't tell you how many guys that I brought in with tons of talent who I've met over the years who go, well, I can do what you're doing. And you're like, you have one leg.
Yeah.
You can sell. Cool. You need like 4. You need like 4 at least.
Yeah, it's hard.
And if you don't know what those other ones are, what's going to happen is now you're stumbling along and you can't even use your one good leg because you're trying to recruit, you're trying to do legal, you're trying to negotiate. Meanwhile, the sales part, the one that made you all your money when you were working over here, right?
It's going down.
It's going down, right? Now our cancellations are going up higher because you're not keeping up with your customers.
Yeah.
Well, if your cancellations start going up, what happens?
Yeah.
You start losing all your setters.
Yeah.
So your cool little click goes away, your sales start to dip, and then now you have all this liability, right? And then you're starting square one again. You're back to selling 3 a month instead of 18.
Yeah.
We might have gotten a small override on what you're doing, but we paid for your reps to go out and eat, to go out and, camping, trips, all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd say when you run a company, whether, in our cases, we're running like multiple companies, Pacific United Power, Real Sales Dynamics, and then all the dealerships and agreements we have with different companies that we franchised with before.
Yeah.
We also do media work for different installers. Wow. When we're doing all those things, there is an absurd level of humility that's kind of required in order to do well and learning from other people along the way. Yeah. And you might not be able to gather from how much I'm talking versus how much you're talking right now, but I actually like listening a lot. But when you have a camera right in front of me, I kind of like monopolizing the thing, which is why, again, I got a guy to film me while I'm knocking the hood.
YouTube channel,
Yeah, it's kind of how it works.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, so it's good. So speaking of that, you guys have all these different things going on. You're still going out, you're getting lots of infill footage of yourself.
Yeah.
Now I know sometimes you get other reps from your company on and stuff like that. But yeah, how do you find the time to do all this, man? Because I've been running the podcast for a while. It can take a long time to like try to grow a brand and do all that.
Cool.
Do you have any tips for that, guys?
Organization starts with small steps that lead to larger organization.
Okay.
Right? So you meet let's say you meet a really type A organized person and you're a type B. Like you're a go-getter, you're doing all that stuff, but you're not very organized at all. So many times in my life, because organization has been my biggest issue throughout my entire life, really, right? And you can tell from the fact that I have such a vast amount of interests. I can play guitar incredibly well. I literally play with like bluegrass bands, punk bands. I won the Best New Artist San Diego, like, I don't know, 12 years ago.
Wow. Didn't know
like
that.
the band I was with at the time. I've done all kinds of things. Wrote a book that became a bestseller. I'm not just talking myself up. This is actually a explanation of how ADHD can make you look like you have it more put together than you actually do.
Yeah.
You're successful at a bunch of stuff, but you're not making money off any of those things.
Yeah.
All those things I did, I was broke. I was doing it, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not organized, so like the simplest bit of organization for your life is if you write notes a lot on your phone, get folders on your phone. Literally, just start with that. Get folders in your notes so you can organize all those things.
Okay.
So if you have, let's say you have 15 videos you need to do in the next 3 months. Okay. Put that in its own folder with video ideas, then videos you've already done, and then another little note there on like, okay, I have this video, here's the 5 things I need to get done on a little checklist.
Okay.
That checklist is your dopamine search, right? We're always chasing for dopamine. That's why everyone has a phone in front of them with a nice big light.
Yeah.
So if you can gamify every single system in your life, you will do so much better.
Yeah.
So I'm starting, there's a company who just started working with me in the last 2 months who wants me to start 7 field team marketing teams for them over the course of the next 3 months.
Wow.
That's a lot of work, right?
No kidding.
Seems like a lot of work, but I have different people I work with on that.
Okay.
So what I do is, we just started this new one. It's a new campaign. I have a different checklist form for each one of those things, right? Like a propaganda list, a company accomplishments list, a rep accomplishments list.
Yeah.
And by me sharing that with that other person, now they're able to check off, I did this, I did this, I did this. Great. But if whenever you look at a problem, you see it as, I have 30,000 things to do, even if you do 50 things that day, you will not go to sleep well. You literally, have you ever had that before?
Yeah.
You literally get a bunch of things done. At the end of the day, you're going to bed, you're like, shit, I have so much to do.
Yeah.
That's a terrible feeling, right?
Sure.
Versus, you had 10 things you're supposed to do that day. You do all 10, great. You can F off and do nothing.
Yeah.
If you're truly organized, if you literally know every single step of your week, you can actually go and do nothing. That'll allow you to be more creative, which will allow you to come up with new ideas and things to do. And then you're good to go. Right, you're totally fine. So it's kind of like this dating goes, statement goes, if you want something done, give it to a busy person.
Yeah.
I know that with Johnny or with Garrett, if I ask either of them to do anything, even if they have 1,000 things they need to do, they're both crazy organized. They're going to get those things done every single time.
Nice.
Right?
That's awesome.
And then lastly on there, just on the growing thing, don't be afraid of getting other people involved.
Okay.
So the way that we've succeeded so well is that we find, so in the same way when you're door knocking, you're always trying to find the niche for that customer to get them to buy solar.
Yeah.
Right? So that's exactly what we're doing all the time. We're like, oh, battery, oh, roof, oh, thermostat, oh, AC. AC is the big one lately. In Florida, I've been adding on ACs in like about 2/3 of my deals right now.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people need new ACs. We can time them with a lease. It's basically free for them to get a new AC.
Yeah.
Right? So when I talk to someone who was running a company or whatever, I just go, oh, okay, what's your, there's the hole. Okay, great. Now, mind you, at the same time, like I went to Melissa Ramiza's.
Eliza, yeah. Yeah, she's super organized.
I have run blitzes, right? We have one going on in New Jersey right now with over 250 sales.
Whoa.
In 10 days.
Incredible.
And she gave a speech on blitzes. Now, her retention rate is phenomenal in those deals. And I think she's really organized. She has a lot to say.
Yeah.
These are all of the notes I literally took regarding what she stated.
Wow.
So it's about not being so cocky, right?
Yeah.
Probably everyone in your channel right now has seen a video of me saying, hey guys, are you a setter out there who's dealing with closers who can't actually close? Are you a closer who doesn't have any setters, right?
Yeah.
I've done that. You've seen that ad. I know it.
I've read that, yeah.
Yet I still go to the door-to-door con speech where it says how to run a perfect blitz.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what the holes are so that I don't have to pay someone else for it.
Yeah.
But if that's going to be too much work for someone else, I will help them in any single capacity we can.
Yeah.
Whether it's doing media for them, whether it's recruiting for them, which is what I'm fucking phenomenal at.
Yeah.
Right? I pay $400 out of nowhere. I get 20 applicants. Those are numbers. Those are KPIs.
Yeah.
I can figure that out. However much money I spend here is how much money I can get back.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, because I know you guys get a massive amount of recruits from your videos, from your channel. Was that always the plan? Did you guys plan to use that as like a recruiting tool, or was it just kind of like, oh, let's start a YouTube channel for fun, spread more awareness, or what was like the mission when you guys first took over the YouTube channel?
I mean, part of it, recruitment was absolutely there.
Okay.
But it was also just like a cool vibe, and it was a chance to be able to hang out with friends. I'm not even kidding. Like if you're not playing around and having fun with this, then you're not doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Another aspect of it was relevancy. So when I was at Legacy, I had like 2 weeks before it all ended, I was named Manager of the Year, which to me was like the biggest deal in the world at the time.
That's awesome.
I was like, holy crap, this is huge.
It's a big deal.
This is a big deal.
Big company.
I've had multiple years where I have over 100 sales. But guess what? My information on installs was never sent over to, the door-to-door con. So I never got like a Golden Door Award. I never got any of these things or whatever. It was all in that walled garden like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And so when I got out of it, I was kind of like, I'm not relevant.
Yeah.
That's weird, right?
Yeah, done all this.
So either do I join another big box solar company, Freedom Forever or Sunder or whatever, as a discount time, or do I get people to come, do we get people to come to us?
Yeah.
Right? And that relevancy, again, you're finding those little points. It's shocking how many people can come through there. What's fun though is that like the more we did it, the better all of us became at selling.
Right.
Like on the door, when you can be charismatic on camera, you're also charismatic to that customer.
Yeah.
Right? And we've had a lot of funny interactions. I can't tell you how many leads Garrett, my camera guys, actually set for our reps.
Yeah.
So what happened is we
had
this
to sell better than your reps.
I'll tell you a funny story real quick.
Okay.
We had this hilarious. He did. He really did. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, get you.
We had this hilarious rep who came in, and like I was just starting in Florida. Like we're just figuring things out. I wasn't even hiring yet because the Cheryl's trying to figure out the Florida market.
Yeah.
And they hit me up, and it was a trans person named Chris.
Okay.
Who told hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm out here on a meeting. Well, we got some going, it's not a problem. Right?
Oh.
Literally talked like that.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So I had to go close something. Garrett was out filming with me, and I was like, just go Chris real quick, see what happens. He goes, knocks at this person. They're like, hey, what's up? Meeting. Forgets to ask for the bill. Forgets to set the appointment. Garrett sets the appointment on 3 of them, but we just keep filming the thing as we're going. I end up closing up 2 of those. This is what's funny though.
Yeah.
I don't hear from that person after we posted the video for like a month, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe they went off and just did something else because they're very bad at their job.
Yeah.
I call them up. I was like, hey, how you doing, Chris? What you doing? Yeah, no, Titan. They saw a video, they recruited me. I'm a closer. I'm getting like 6 leads a day now. I was like, that is the best job you're ever going to get. Godspeed, God bless. I was like, if Titan wants to give you, if my enemy wants to give you leads, please let them do that all day.
That's
so
awesome.
stating that there is a lot of videos that will never, ever, ever see the light of air.
Yeah.
We literally use it as a training hub where
Okay.
he has shown me videos. He's like, this guy needs help. I'm like, this guy needs help. Like, this is bad, bro.
Yeah.
And I watch him like, ooh, this is not good.
Yeah.
But there's other guys who out of nowhere, champion to shoot up. Recently, a guy named Jose, who runs my South Florida office. Dad, he was a new rep. He joined our blitz. This is a different thing between me and Melissa. Melissa, for instance, doesn't hire any new reps for blitzes.
Yeah.
I'm not that way. I've had great guys come out of blitzes.
Okay.
Who were brand new.
Yeah.
This guy was a water softener like sales guy.
Okay.
He came in, but he was a setter for his first blitz. Then his second blitz, he came in and he started closing. And then his third blitz, he came second to me for total overall sales.
Okay.
Although I will say, I set up for all my blitzes, I do this thing where I do a contest. 1, 2, 3. If you're number 1, number 2. I never am part of that because it's rude.
Okay. Yeah. I think I've seen you say that on videos.
Yeah, well, I also, because it's a cocky ego thing too, because we gave it to one guy who had like 8 sales, I had 16. I was like, we give it to him, but also I'm not part of the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's just kind of rude.
Yeah, it's true. So how do you guys determine who's gonna go get like filmed on the doors? Do you have like you're like, oh, this person's crushing it? Or?
There's all kind. We've gotten more cautious about it, to be fair.
Okay.
Because we definitely run into some obstacles as you're going to do.
Yeah.
One of the things you got to be completely aware of is as soon as you post that person, 1,000 people are going to try to recruit them.
Okay.
It's just like it's just a spree.
Okay.
Their DMs are going to be filled to the brim with everything possible.
Okay.
So have a confident relationship with that person and like make them aware of it and make them and know that they're smart and they're in a good position.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, and I can say like I'm the best leader in the world, none of that matters. But just like we talked about earlier, that's bullshit, and that's not being transparent at all. It's not true.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter how good you are when someone else is looking around. Right. Things can happen when it comes to that. Within solar sales.
Yeah.
So being really aware of that. We've also pushed some guys forward that I don't think we should have pushed at the time, and we've actually removed some of their videos.
Okay.
We're like, oh man, like you did that. Fuck, you got to get fired. Like I got to let you go. You messed up here or there.
Yeah.
So now it's more like, all right, Jose's a great example. Been in 3 blitzes, driven away from his family, came out for those. He's been leading young fellas. I want to recruit around that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to build that army around him. So I knew as soon as we put him on camera, he was going to be perfect for it.
Yeah.
And I still waited. Like I waited I think 2 months more than I even needed to. Because I was chalking it up. I was like, hey man, this is legit.
A big deal.
This is going to be a big deal. Yours is going to hit. And Gary, as Jose called you, did a phenomenal job of filming them, of just getting the whole vibe through. And you see Jose on film, he's just like, this is my boy Gary over here. He's just making sure that I don't get fired from my job. I'm just saying real quick. So all we're here doing real quick.
Yeah, I remember that guy. I think I watched that video.
He's so fire.
Yeah, he's good.
And there's just great guys like that. So, it's a learning process.
Yeah.
God knows the way my business structure, which I'm not going to go in too much on here. I'm just kind of giving a broad thing. But on the minute details, people would be kind of shocked what the major things I do.
Yeah.
But because no one else really does those things exactly like that, I get to make a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like money. It's
yeah.
great.
Well,
yeah.
So what's your opinion? Because I know some people are worried about more regulation coming.
Yeah.
And about
I want to write the regulation. That's what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ever worried about I don't know, customers or FBI watching your video or getting into the wrong hands?
Oh, we haven't.
Do you ever worry about any of that?
No.
Okay.
No. Listen, as I mentioned earlier, it's a filter thing. If I can see a rep is BSing on the door, we cut that out.
Okay.
But not only do we cut that out in there, but we
guys.
actually sit him down and have a conversation, and then we have him record his pitch and record his close later on the line. So we're here to make sure that's out.
Okay.
That's
good.
done.
Yeah.
Because we're recorded, we literally have the cleanest pitch. I think there was one video where one of our guys, Austin, said something insane regarding a battery, which some of you guys might know. They're like, oh yeah, increase. We called that customer 2 days later, hey, by the way, the battery doesn't do that. Do you want to still proceed forward with the project?
Okay.
We're like,
you still do it?
Yeah. Did he still do it? Yeah, he still ended up getting it sold.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, there's
okay, that's good. Well, yeah, it's true because you can't. I mean, you got to be. Everyone knows what you're saying on the camera.
You got to. Yeah, you got to filter through. You got to make sure that stuff should go. As far as litigation things like that, it's not good enough to have one attorney. You need two, depending on where it's going to come from.
Okay.
You're going to get sued. The bigger you are, the more likely. Maybe not even a lawsuit, but little things, BBB, stuff like that. It's always going to show up, especially when you're knocking with a Rolex in the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's it's an easy.
Yeah.
Just be able to protect yourself, know that you're protected legally.
Yeah.
And a big thing with you can use AI for a lot of this now if you don't have the funds.
Yeah.
But having your dealer agreements with an attorney, having an attorney actually look over those dealership agreements, it's going to protect you a lot in the long run.
Okay.
But just realize that whenever you say something like, I'm going to sue that person, that you're probably not going to get any of that money, and you're probably going to go down a dark, dark alley. And that you're more likely to get money from installers, things like that, by pestering them.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's good.
It's the same way that a customer can get a discount from you. If let's say you sell them a 20-cent PPA, and then every single day He texts you until install. Can I get a better deal? Can I get a better deal? After a while, you're probably gonna get a better deal.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. The same way, if you pester the hell out of an installer for like day after day after day after day after day after day after day, and literally threaten to bring it up on, let's say, real sales dynamics.
Yeah.
They'll pay you.
It works.
It's like to a certain extent. And sometimes again, Sonova goes under, SunPower goes under.
Yeah.
We had both happen last year.
Yeah.
Those are our 2 major installs.
Brutal. Yeah.
So it's brutal, but we got through it.
Yeah. No, well, good for you guys. Well, Carlos, I know you're sharing like sales tips all the time on the channel, and you guys drop some heat there. So I hope everyone will go, if you're not already, I don't know what you're doing, but go check out their channel. And maybe just like, I don't know, a sales tip for, well, did you ever struggle, when you first got into solar, did you struggle at all, or was it pretty much like?
It was terrible.
Okay.
It was terrible.
So what's like,
so bad.
what helped you?
No, it was terrible. What are you talking about?
Okay.
No one's that good when they start unless they had
some people are. Some people are
no, some people are lucky and then it ends up screwing them over.
Jack, for example, your guy Jack.
I will talk to you. We can talk. Okay, well, Jax was selling only in condo complexes, literally to his neighbors for his first 6 months, so that helps.
Okay.
Jack, I love you. You know that's true. When you're selling nothing but your neighbors in the same condo complex and you're the only install in the entire neighborhood, that's a bit of a hack.
Yeah.
Again,
okay.
You're welcome, Jack.
Yeah.
But no, I am. There's a bit of pride that can be beneficial when used properly. Okay. So I remember calling my mom when I got on my mortgage job, because that's like a real career. That's a real job. I have a master's and everything else.
Yeah.
Telling her I'm gonna get into door knocking.
Yeah.
My dad, good luck. My mom yeah.
It's like, what are you
health
doing?
Insurance?
Yeah. That's what mine did too.
I didn't have that for a couple years. And for me, I met all these young guys who were just average guys.
Yeah.
Making pretty good money. I met Ashton Buswell and I was like, okay, he's better at this than me. But then I met guys that kind of below him. I was like, I could be better than this. She studied a lot.
Okay.
Studied like crazy. And some people say they outworked everyone, but you can literally talk to Michael Guchman, who's one of the VP over at Thunder. Mm-hmm. He was my mentor, Legacy. I did outwork everyone. I knocked 8, 12-hour days for 2 months. It really was. I didn't have anything going on in life. That was this is it. I quit my band that was in, which, it was going to go wherever it was going, but I quit. Wow. I quit doing, I was also representative at the Libertarian Party in California. That's a story for another time.
Wow.
But I stopped going to their meetings. I stopped doing everything except door knocking.
Wow.
Until I got good. So first month, I think 2 sales, 1 sale, maybe 1 sale a month. Second month, Mike gave me I got his tools from someone else.
Okay.
And his HIS tools, so I'm supposed to have it.
Okay.
And I did 6. And then I can't remember if it was the 3rd month or the 4th month, I did 29.
Whoa. So that's when you took off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then after that, I got words of applause every week. And I was like, oh, okay, I want this all the time. Validation! I sucked at sports, so this is the only way I could get validation.
Nice.
This is great. But dude, I appreciate the hell out of you. Make sure you check out Real Sales Dynamics, and importantly, The Wolf of Solar on Instagram. I respond to my DMs. It's not my assistant. Whenever you email me or send me other weird stuff, it's usually my assistant. If you actually want to talk to me, The Wolf of Solar, there's a lot of new stuff to be coming out in the future, from a course to helping you guys out with your companies as a whole. I will, if there's a niche out there, I will do everything I can to try to fill that niche as much as possible. So use me, abuse me, and help us both make money. So, dude, it was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah. Hey, we appreciate you, Carlos.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, guys. Go check out their YouTube channel. Follow us on YouTube as well. And, we'll have to do it again, man.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, appreciate it.